All right. How to become a pro gamer. Oh man, from Bardos. I still don't know. Is it Bardos or Bardos?
Hi YouTube. Today I would like to talk about something that I started introducing in a different video, which is being a pro. Someone asked me, why don't most aim trainers become pros?
Because all they got is aim, and they got nothing else.
And I started explaining that there's a lot more to being a pro than, being an aim god. So I want to explain how I would go for becoming a pro in 2024 if I
Oh
was
dang.
still interested in it.
Ooh, and he's like referencing like how to become like a pro gamer in FPS, obviously,
First of all, I think you should ask yourself, is this something that actually
or
matters?
maybe not just FPS. Maybe in like other, I don't know, esports games. Like what other games are esports but not FPS? I know there's Rocket League. That's a thing. Like maybe some like fighting games. Okay. Okay, so fighting games, Rocket League. What else? There's not many I can think of off the top of my head. There's probably more like the sports games, like the football, basketball. There's probably like some pro scene in there to some degree. I saw that thing on Netflix with what was it? Like the race. What's it called? Gran Turismo. I know that's probably a thing. But other than that, whenever you hear the word esport, at least in my head, I think like FPS games.
To me, is this valuable to me? Does it align with my values and goals in life and the direction I want to take?
Mm-hmm.
Because being a pro in video games is a lot. It is kind of a pain in the ass, I'll be honest with you. Uh,
Damn, bro. Like when I was a little kid, and all I was doing was going to work at CC's and going home and then playing COD, and that was all I did. I wanted to be a pro gamer in that game, with just like me and my boys just rolling around, cruising through what do you call it, the old COD Ghosts, no less. Like everyone considers it like the worst one or whatever, but I mean, it's not so bad when you got friends. Um, but yeah, I mean, I think everybody that plays video games, that thought passes through their head, like, oh, maybe if I concentrate hard enough, if I do good enough in this game, I could maybe, if there's like, if I got high enough, I could maybe enter a tournament, but I don't know how, I don't know where. Is it online? How do I do this? Is this a scam? There's so many questions that also like pop into your head. I mean, yes, not everybody, but I'd say a lot of people, like I would say most people, the thought passes through their head.
First of all, you should ask yourself, what is driving me to even think about becoming a pro? Do
Literally, it's I just want to be good at least one thing in life. All right, that's it. I have failed everything else in my life. Let me just be good at this one thing. Let me have this. That is, I think, the crux of it. I mean, and to some degree, like it's probably different for a lot of people. Like maybe they took their favorite game, they were like kind of decent at it, and then they just kept on going at it. Maybe they had like some friends and him and or not just him, but like maybe that person and their friends just kept on playing. Obviously, like in esports, it's you're most likely to be like a guy in esports than you are a girl, like just likely. But um, a lot of esports are team based, so it, seldom have I seen like solo people like just rise through the ranks of like some game ladder, or whatnot. A lot of the time it's like you get to like some level of skill, and from there on you just kind of make connections, you kind of make friends. They're like the video game friend. Like you only really interact with this person like in like, hey man, you want to jump on and play a so and so game? It's like, yeah, sure, I'm on. Let's go. It's usually like a group of people like rise up together. Seldom do I think it's like a singular person that just like skyrockets by themselves. I think that's really tough.
Do I realize that I enjoy the competition to that level? Do I crave the adrenaline of being on stage? Do I
don't really think that thought passes through people's head. Like, yes, people see that imagery, um, but I mean, yes, that is like one of the end goals to have like that level. But I mean, I'm sure you're about to explain like how difficult it is.
really need some outlet for my competition, and have I
Yeah,
found that gaming really scratches the need, and do I even have the need? Because that's what I was doing it for. Like I
yeah. The need to be competitive. I think this is a little stronger in guys than it is girls because I don't know, just guys are just more competitive over the most stupidest things, no doubt. All right. um, yes, that's 100% true. The need to be competitive. I mean, if you're not like physically gifted to like do like real sports, or I say real sports, if you're not like gifted enough to do like real sports, then it's like, I mean, I wasn't because I had like health issues back in the day. Um, yeah, I played just a shitload of video games, and yeah, that thought passed through my head, and it was fun to like go hard with the bros in Call of Duty and Halo and a couple other games.
I really crave competition, and there are many ways to kind of have an outlet for competition, and
Hmm.
competitive gaming for me was a great one. The adrenaline of a clutch, and being on stage, and the screaming and the energy is
Yeah, there's
something that I
levels.
found very addictive, and I absolutely love doing it. So if that's something that you crave, I think that's a good motivation. But then I would ask myself, am I sure that I'm not doing this because I think it will make me rich?
Yeah, the whole "I'm doing this for money" thing. Uh, I'm sure that does pass through people's heads because um, you do see a lot of just influencers in general. Just, I mean, I kind of see like a path of, oh, first you got to get good in the game. Then once you get good in the game, you start doing the ranked, and then once you get good at ranked, then you can start. Or depending on if the game has like a team based thing going on for it, like CS, Val, Overwatch, Apex, things like this. Then you can start, asking around, like, hey man, I'm on this time, and so on and so forth. Um, you start developing friends around the game, and then you start grinding the rank ladder and whatnot. Um, but it's maybe you're just happy just grinding the rank ladder, and that fills your competitive like bucket. Or maybe it's doing some like little Discord tournaments, or doing like game battles, like doing like a third party like tournament. It doesn't have to be like the official tournament. I think people's competitiveness increases the more they are exposed to like a competitive scene, and like just being around other competitive people just drives like your motivation up, I think.
Because I think that is not the right way of doing it. If your main goal is becoming rich, like, is being a competitive gamer really the way
Yeah,
you want to do it?
yeah, being the competitive, I was just like ranting and shit. Yeah, you're not gonna get like rich being a competitive gamer. It depends on like the game. It depends on how healthy the esport is and whatnot. There's like a laundry list of things. I mean, I mean, the competitive scene is where you build your credentials, not where you make your money. You make your money when you're done doing the competitive thing and you move off into variety things or whatever. I mean, at least that's what I see for the most part.
First of all, the likelihood of you becoming rich is extremely low. The money is very skewed in the
Hmm.
world of competitive gaming. It's mostly at the top, so you might
Yeah,
hear
the top 1/10 of 1%
about these
of gamers are hoarding all of the gamer wealth and
like insanely high salaries, people making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year.
Yep.
It's a very small percentage of people that are salaried in general.
Oh yeah.
Like if you're European and you want to start now in Valorant, like I still know what the salaries are like. You're gonna start like $500 a month, maybe 1,000. If you're starting to be close to tier 2, maybe you can get to 1.5. Like this is not you getting rich. Like
no.
Yes, it's you living from your passion, like, which is great. But if you were passionate about it because you wanted to become rich, you will just be unhappy about it. And there's a good chance that you might, even if you do make it to that level, which is already the very top of players, there's a good chance that you will stay stuck there. Sometimes for reasons that have nothing to do with you. So ask yourself, am I doing this?
Sometimes for reasons that have nothing to do with you. I think a lot of the times, at least with like the arena style FPSs, there's nothing really to, I don't know, data mine. But when you have like games like Apex, where it's a little more organic, and a little more gentleman's agreement type of gameplay, it's just like, oh, we don't know the best strat because we don't have an analyst, we don't have a coach, we don't have the best data mined information on this and that, and the frame data on this and that. We're just playing the game based off of feel. I think it's a little simpler when you have like an arena FPS, or not arena FPS, but like what do you call it? Like at least for CS and Val, it's like they're tactical FPSs, and I'm not even sure if like Halo, like the Halo scene and Call of Duty scene, are they even like, are they surviving or are they thriving in terms of like esports? I don't even know, but to my knowledge, those are both like the only like arena FPSs that are just going on still. I mean, I don't even watch all 4 of those, to be honest.
Because I have been sold this idea of a life that is extremely pleasant, and I'm rich by being extremely skillful at video games. Because then ask yourself, should I not maybe try to do something else to become rich? There are ways.
Well, yeah, the whole rich thing, like in terms of like video games and whatnot, like if you can get good at a game and also have the charisma to like go behind it, you will succeed way more just in like I think the online space than just putting all your like little coins in like one bucket or whatnot. Yeah, because I mean, choose a game and I'll be able to tell you who is the best player or best players, but then I show you that person and they have no personality. They have no character. They're boring. Like, oh, I play the game, I scrim all day and blah blah blah. And this is my life. And that is the life. And then when they're on camera, it's like there's no like backstory behind the teams. There's no backstory behind like, well, not backstory, but there's no like rivalry or anything like that, like in WWE or anything like that. There's no stories being told. It's all like good game, good game, good game. Like I think in a lot of these like FPSs, like they don't even do like the like go to each other and like they like shake each other's hand. Like, do they still? I'm not sure. I know that was a thing when I was a little kid. Like when I played like soccer and baseball, you'd line up and you cross paths and then you like shake all the kids. Well, you just like, you're good game, good game, good game. It's like, oh, we won or you lost. And there's always that one kid that's like, you suck. Good game, good game. But yeah, I don't even know where I was going with this.
That I think are much higher likelihood to make you rich, like studying, staying in school, make sure that you get a good degree in something that typically gets you a high paying job, and then try to be very good at that, and be kind of smart with your money, invest in S&P 500, don't spend on weird stuff, and you will probably become rich kind of young. The likelihood of that is a lot higher than you making it as a professional in your game. So again, ask yourself, am I doing it for the right reasons? Am I finding that I'm really talented or that I really enjoy the process of improvement? Because I am.
Yeah, because the process of improvement is just riddled with self-criticism and acknowledging that you have things to work on, aka your knee-jerk thought might be like, oh, I'm a failure at this, I suck at this, I suck at this, but I'm really good at the game still. It's like, well, yeah, but you have to work on all these other things to, you know, push out that last little bit of performance. And not a lot of people are willing to do that. They just want to just go through the game and, I don't know, just like autopilot through the game up to some level, and they don't really want to like try to punch through that, like that next level that like pushes them over.
I am someone that kind of subscribes to the idea that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And I think most people don't work hard. So I think if you are a hard worker, you already have a good chance of making it. And, you know, you can be a pro in many different creative ways. I will focus on tactical shooters mostly because I know more about them. But, you know, you've got people that became pros and known for their high IQ clutches. I remember Xnipnik's Danish player in Counter-Strike was very famous for winning most of his clutches. And then you've got like Scream, people that are very famous for being mechanically talented.
I don't know anybody in CS.
Extremely talented in-game leaders, you know? There are different ways.
I just recently learned the difference between Demon 1, he plays Valorant, and a Liege plays CS. That is what I recently learned, thanks to a couple comments I read. So, yeah.
Ways in which you can be creative and become a pro if you like working hard. But you really have to be honest with yourself and do some introspection and understand, do I like working hard like that? Do I like just practicing for hours on end without seeing any type of improvement, plateauing for weeks, even months, and still push through? Do I have it in me? Because if you don't, then unless, again, you're an incredible talent and you realize that, you know, with 10x fewer hours in whatever game compared to others, you can still perform, I wouldn't honestly do it.
Yeah.
So that's number one. Again, make sure that you're doing it for the right reason and that you're sure that this is what you want to do. Now, number two, if you do understand that, yes, if you really believe that it's your calling and you want to do it, ooh, Ferrari, nice. Sorry, I get really distracted by good cars. So if you really understand and you believe that it's your calling and that's what you want to do, let's now actually focus on how I think you should do it. All right. First of all, pick a game that is not too dead. I am someone that strongly believes in following your...
Ooh, not too dead. That list is growing shorter and shorter by the day, my man.
...passion. But if your passion is a dead game and your goal is to become a pro, the market isn't there, right? You just won't be able to do it.
What do you got? You got Valorant, CS, Rocket League, League of Legends, Overwatch, but that is yet to be determined. I know their OWL thing closed down, but didn't they open up like some new league? I don't know. Apex is a thing. What else? Call of Duty, competitive Call of Duty, competitive Halo. Was that like 8? Is StarCraft a thing? So like 9, and then Dota. Is that? I'm pretty sure that's a thing. So like 10. I'm just a casual, so this is like just the short list of like trying to figure out, oh, what's the competitive game. Yeah, it's very short.
So maybe pick a game that isn't dead, okay? At this point, I would say the games are Counter-Strike, Valorant, Fortnite,
Fortnite.
Apex,
Yep.
Rainbow Six Siege.
Yep. Oh, I missed
There's
some.
probably a couple more.
There's like 12, maybe-ish. I think, so I left out, this is Rainbow Six and Fortnite. 12-ish games. Ooh. A lot of room.
More smaller ones where you could do something, but those are probably the main ones that I would pick. I hope I didn't forget any major ones. People.
Oh dang! His short list is only 4 games. Oh my god!
Will be like, well, how did you not mention this game? Well, I'm sorry. You know. But these are
that's a good impression. Thank you, Bartos.
Main ones in my opinion. So once you pick a game that you like, kind of try them all, see if you can find parts of the game that you really enjoy. Now starts the grind. The grind is multifaceted because yes, there's the
Ooh.
mechanical portion of it. Obviously, you know, I've talked about aim training and why it's important in other videos. So I would focus on aim as part of it. One of the things that I would do is definitely focus on aim. And then one more thing that I would definitely do.
Honestly, like if you just walk into a game like a tactical shooter with really good aim, like early on, and you just have a lot of time aim training under your belt, I don't know. I think it's just gonna be easier than against someone that's like, I don't know, maybe like someone that doesn't have as much time, but like in an aim trainer, but just has like a little bit more time in just the game. I don't know. I think that'd be like a really good experiment to like do. Like maybe not like put up someone with a ton of hours, like put up like a decent level aim train bro versus someone, I don't know. Like I don't know the levels in like Valorant and CS. Like someone that's like platinum, and just have them like 1v1 a little bit and see who does better. Or maybe not 1v1, but like I don't know, like something.
Is focus on the other pillars as well. You don't want to be someone that is like one directional. You don't want to put all your stats in all your points in a single stat in an MMORPG, right? You don't want to be all aim no brain. You don't want to be all brain no aim. So you kind of have to make sure that you work on everything. The same way that if you're doing bodybuilding, you will figure out your weakness and make sure that you don't have.
This camera is going crazy.
You don't have parts that are a lot like overpowered by other things. You want to make sure that if you're really good at aiming, maybe, you know, for your hours that you're dedicating to training, instead of doing 100% aim training, do like 50% aim training and 50%, you know, VOD review.
Oh, yeah. I think when you say the words VOD review to like someone that wants to be a pro gamer, like at least for me, those words I didn't even know what those words meant. Like having to go back and look at your own gameplay and see and just watch yourself do all the mistakes, through the entire gameplay. That thing, like just doing VOD review alone, saying those words is enough to put at least, I don't know, I would say at least half the people just out of it when you say VOD review, because every competitive game does it. And it's just a part of the process that you have to do, and it's part of that whole self criticism thing, and self improvement arc. But just when you say that to someone that's like, I don't know, like Diamond or something in like their game, and it's like, oh, what does it take for me to like get better? It's like, well, you got to start looking at your own gameplay. It's like, what? I can't just I can't just play more of the game. It's like, no, you can't.
Do for practicing are observe, analyze, and train. Observe yourself and observe others. You're watching the current esports, like even if you don't enjoy them. Sorry, let me just make sure that the mic is put in a better way. Okay.
Bardo's ripping it in the convertible too.
So even if you don't enjoy it, because, you know, I, for example, didn't really enjoy watching esports much, but if you want to be an esports player, you need to understand the current meta. So you need to study to some degree. You need to learn what's going on. You need to really analyze, you know, watch a couple players, different play styles, analyze them on from a microscopic standpoint, figure out how they move, how they deal with information. So really take your time to figure out, like, okay, this player seems to be rotating, or seems to be doing this thing, or seems to be moving this way. Ask yourself, why are they doing it? You know, what happened that caused them to decide this? Because typically humans in a video game react to some external cue. It could be the timer hitting a specific time, a call from their teammate, a sound.
I mean, I think I could benefit from this too, because I mean, when I do go play like FPSs again, it's like I'd never engaged in this aspect. And it's probably why I was like stuck in like, you know, like a normal bell curve. I was stuck in like that average point of the game, like in terms of like whatever the ranked is. And I think this is again, this is a thing that not a lot of people do, and is like just you doing it in the first place literally puts you like leagues ahead of everybody else. I think, like, simply just do it in the first place. You don't have to, like, worry about the quality of the VOD review or whatever. Just simply just do it.
Some other event in the game happening, info, like whatever. Try to figure out why they're doing the thing they're doing, and then really think about it deeply. Take notes. I would highly suggest that you take notes. And this might seem excessive, but like, do you want to be a pro or not? And do you want to do it in your lifetime? You have to be efficient. I'm not saying that this is needed for you to become a pro.
The thing, the overall like concept that he's like talking about is like, what is everybody else doing? If everybody else is doing it, you should probably be doing it, and also be trying to find other things to improve your own performance. Because if you're just simply doing everything that everybody else is doing, you're probably not going to be in that number one spot. All right. If you're not like trying to push like some sort of like training technique or new thing, new meta, not VOD reviewing, you're probably going to fall behind.
I'm saying that if you want to maximize the chances of you getting pro, you want to be taking it seriously and studying like this. So observe yourself. So do VOD reviews, understand when you died or when like you did something wrong, what happened, where did it go wrong, what was the wrong decision you made, and really do consistent VOD reviews. If you see a pattern, really in game, try to focus on that. Maybe
I think if a game has like any sort of like esports scene that's like relevant at all, I don't know. I think having like some sort of kill cam, or maybe not like a Call of Duty style kill cam where it's like from the other person's perspective, or maybe have like a twofold type of deal where it's like on one half of the screen there's like the other person's point of perspective, and then maybe your perspective on the top and the enemy on the bottom, and maybe on the other half it'll just show like the map of like, I don't know, like Counter-Strike or CS or a Halo or Call of Duty. Maybe just have that like built in the game. And you know how like in Call of Duty, like you can just exit to like just quit out of it if you don't want to watch it. I don't know. I think having like kill cams in games could help, just as like a quick little thing like that. But overall, like you still need to like do like an overall like match review type of deal.
Even think about like, how can I put some visual cue that will remind me of the bad habit I have? Because everything is about habits, okay? So maybe, if you really over peak all the time, or maybe you get one kill and you get the like dopamine hit and need to really start going for multiple kills. Do you really need to? Like maybe you just did a kill that got you to be 4v3. Why are you still peaking, man? Like bomb is down, you got 4v3, they're retaking and you're still peaking? Why?
Ooh.
Because you want the dopamine? Not a good reason. So start noting it down. Maybe put like even visual cues, a post-it on your monitor or something that will prevent you from doing it again. And really analyze your bad habits, because that will help. So that's the observe part. Observe and learn. Observe others. Observe yourself. Then there's a train. So if you really figure out that your crosshair placement is really bad, find a way to train. I'm not going to plug Aim Labs, but we do have a specific crosshair placement thing. But even in game, if you really want to, you can hop on a private server and move around. You won't have any feedback from the game, but it's still better than not doing anything.
Yeah.
So
do something rather than nothing.
Make sure that you also do that. And so that's observe, that's learn. Then you've got train, the repetition, really get the repetitions in. Even if you don't feel like playing a given day, hey, do you want to be a pro or not? Discipline.
I would be curious to think about, or just see if like athletes from other sports feel the same way about doing certain things. Like football, soccer, baseball, basketball, so on and so forth. I would have to say that these thoughts pass through their heads just as well as, professional video game players like try to like get better at their video game. It's like, oh, maybe today I don't feel like going to the weight room. I don't feel like stretching. I don't feel like doing my cardio. I don't feel like doing my drills or whatever to try to be like ambidextrous, you know, like a basketball or whatever. Um, that thought has to pass through people's heads. I don't. There's no way that it doesn't. But that's not what these leagues would want you to believe. You know, they got the shiny facade in front of like everybody's like a professional, top-notch player and so on and so forth. And everybody loves their job and so on and so forth.
Put in the hours, make sure that you're playing. And this is just for your microscopic level. This is you trying to improve yourself. Now there's the other portion of it. How's your mentality? How's your psychology? What are you as a teammate? Are you a good teammate or not? Are you being friendly and not tilting and being stable mentally with your teammates? Have you found teammates?
Oh yeah, the people aspect of video games. Like video games, the target audience is like in terms of age is just very low to begin with, and younger people just their social skills are not as refined as older people. In terms of like, I don't know, just well, I don't know. It depends because I think in like real sports, if you do like team sports when you're like a kid, I think your social skills can be like well develop. But when you play video games and team video games, I don't think your social skills develop in like a healthy way. And then you want to have like a team in real life, you have like a team house or whatever. And then you need to like work through like certain problems or issues. I would imagine like most gamers like knee-jerk reactions like, oh fuck you suck and da 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 da. And it's like, no, you gotta tone it back. This is not the place for that. These are teammates, you know? I've played a ton of games where what was it? Like my teammates flamed me way before the enemy team would flame me. In like the all chat or whatever. That happens constantly.
Found the right people. Have you had the courage to really confront your teammates when they are stepping out of line? Have you made the hard decision to leave a team because it's unhealthy for you? So there's all of that, which starts being more macroscopic, you know, your decision making, not within the game, but outside of the game. And that's a big portion of becoming a pro. Are you making the right friends? Are you part of the right groups?
Ooh.
Did you get invited to the right Discord?
Oh.
Are you starting to form some connections with orgs and people that work in orgs so that you have the right friends later on to maybe start a project?
The networks.
All of this stuff is important, and you know, it requires a good degree of soft skills. Do you have these soft skills? If you don't, and again, this is your calling, are you ready to learn them? Are you ready to practice? Are you ready to put yourself in positions where you're very uncomfortable just for the sake of it? Because if not, again, consider whether you want to be a pro or not.
Yeah.
So
good, very insightful.
That's a macroscopic portion of it. So I would say make sure that you're playing where the pros are. If you're playing Counter-Strike and you know most of the pros are hanging out in high-level Face It, go play Face It, get level 10 until you find a couple of pros. Make sure that you're consistent, be good, show off. So many pros, like the path to pro in Counter-Strike was really getting to FPL, right? Playing Face It and getting to a high level and
all right,
always being accused of cheating and then proving that you don't cheat, finding the right teammates.
What does that process look like? The whole aspect of proving that you don't cheat. I mean, I would imagine that has to happen like offline, like where no one sees. It's like, okay, show me like in real life type of deal. I think that type of content would be hilarious to watch. I think that would be awesome. Not just in Counter-Strike, but in like a lot of FPS games. It's like, just think about like a YouTube channel. It's like, okay, guys, we're here with so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. Their rank, I don't know, 490 something. They're in top 500. We think this guy is cheating. Let's find out. You know, those are the type of videos and stories that can like help someone establish, you know, some sort of like credentiality, like in their early years. It's like, oh, I think this guy's cheating, but let me prove it to you. Okay, he's not cheating.
Being tried out for teams. So go do all of that. It will take time because if you're not very good, you won't you won't get to FPL, you won't get to Radiant in Valorant and like constantly play against pros, right? You need to be very good. So this is the macroscopic portion of like, have a path that you're trying to achieve, and often go back and re-observe how's it going. Like, be honest with yourself. Am I being very slow? Am I plateauing? Am I plateauing because I really can't do it, or is there something else to this? Have I not been putting in the work? Have I not been working enough? Have I not been learning enough? Have I stopped doing VOD reviews? Something that I would consider, but this is kind of a little bit like, it takes money, right? So I wouldn't say it's controversial, but you might not have access to it. But coaches work for multiple reasons. I think it's the same reasons why coaches work in any other, you know, thing, like personal trainers in the gym. Yeah, they work. Yeah. Not just because they might be more competent than you, so they can point out things, but also because...
So like, I used to have like a personal trainer license with like NASM, but I just like let it go because I was like, I sucked at like selling and shit, but like I was a really good personal trainer. But one of the things that you are taught as like a personal trainer is to, whenever you take on like a brand new person that's like new to training, you need to equip them with enough knowledge so that they can go off and do their own thing. And they'll have the tools and they'll ask themselves the questions that will allow them to still progress. So I think that's one really good aspect of I don't know, either like a game coach or an aim coach or whatever. The coach's job is to not just solve your issues, like help you discover the issues, and also, you know, give you the tools to problem solve yourself in the future. Because I mean, at least from like a personal training standpoint, as a personal trainer, you're not going to be there every day or every workout for your client. So you arm them with enough knowledge to help them go off and make their own workouts. Same thing with a coach.
A coach kind of has someone that holds you accountable, you know? You don't want to disappoint your coach. Humans don't want to disappoint other humans that expect something from them in general.
Yeah.
So a coach will help you because, you know that you're going to talk to them and they will expect something. Maybe they told you to do something. Did you do that? You don't want to be the one that's like, oh, well, no. So even if just for that, a coach is valuable. But if you find a good coach, then they will also teach you a lot of things, and they will be a lot more efficient at pointing out your bad habits so that you can immediately work on them. So this is all about maximizing your efficiency. Because maybe even if you did nothing of what I said, you could still become a pro just from sheer amount of time that you put in.
Yeah. The sheer time. Like that is a factor. Like, you could get pro in like 3 or 4 years, but you're just doing it by yourself. Or you could, you know, hire some coaches and actually train in certain ways, do a little bit of VOD review, self-reflect, and you can condense that time down into like maybe 1 or 2 years.
Do you really want to take 10 years to become a pro when you could take 5?
Oh, yeah.
So really think about all of this if you want to become a pro. Then, once you're a pro, there's the traveling portion of it. There's the pracs every day. Your manager, your coach will schedule pracs for at least 6 to 8 hours a day.
Is that like practices or scrims?
Have to be there on time, so be on time. You have to push through. You have to try new things. You have to be in the server with your teammates, deciding new things to do. You have to do the meetings with the org, and you have to do content, because in 2024 you have to do some degree of content. The org will...
Yeah, I think that was like, I was watching like a different video from someone, and it was like, pro players, yes, they are signed to orgs, but they are, once they get that professional level paycheck, it's like they don't want to like do content anymore, because there's like time and effort is already being put so much into the professional side that they're just, I don't know, drained to do like any form of like content. So this is actually really good hearing from the other side. I would say Bardos has like a little bit more insight, because like from actually doing it versus like a reporter just making comments maybe like from the outside or something like that. So I don't know, it's just interesting to hear.
Require that of you, because they want to maximize their investment in you. So like, be ready, don't be camera shy. If you are camera shy, practice that as well. Like, being a pro has so many things that most people don't consider,
Yeah.
that it's kind of a little bit funny to me. But still, I think it's a great job. Like, if you can make it, I think it's amazing. Just knowing that you're in the top percent of something, of some, you know,
Like something in the world you're the best at. You're in the tippy top 1/10 of 1%. That's something cool and can be like appreciated and you should be proud of.
metric in the world, knowing that you're one of the very best is one of the best feelings that a human can possibly feel.
Yeah.
I strongly believe that. So, these are my thoughts on how to become a pro. There's probably more to say on the topic.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I don't want to make a video too long.
That's cool.
And yeah, do you still want to be a pro? Let me know. See ya.
Nice. I like these little car talks from Bartos. Like, this shit is so just like conversational and whatnot. It's just nice to just bullshit. But yeah, I like them. Keep coming out with them. I like watching them, dude. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.